I don't know if you noticed, but I put a little video up before we got on about a half hour, 45 minutes ago.
I did not notice. I'm I was actually cutting what's in the juke at 6:30.
No? Let's see how these
Oh,
chatters are.
what chatters do we have? Let's see. Well, it says we're live and streaming. That's a good sign.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
You guys, O1 Ella,
I
8-Bit
see
Burn, Drabsnat, Kata, Metropolis, Scuba Dooba Dooba Dooba, Scuba
Shooby
King
Shoobop
Witch.
Doobop.
Scuba King Witch. Is that Alan? That can't be Alan. That'd be cool, though, if it was. Yeah. I know
Which
Ice
Alan?
Cold Joe was in here earlier, but he's like,
Hmm.
was the show over already?
I mean, define over.
Well, because I got on at like 6:30 and played a music song.
Oh, you did a. Oh, I wonder how that'll work.
Well, it's
It'll
one of
show
my
up as a separate stream. That'll be fun.
yeah, it's
I'll
one of
put
my
I'll put that up.
it's one of my own.
All right.
Hey, oh, you got a little wine going there.
Yes, this is a cab with a in a bourbon barrel situation.
Oh yeah, a friend of mine on Facebook was drinking that exact same kind of wine, a cab and out of what's the brand name?
Um, I don't know, but it was from Targetto,
Oh
so I'm
really?
not sure.
The Targetto.
Yes, it was good enough for Target, good enough for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now I can see better.
Oh, good. Yeah, me too. I posted us on Twitter and Facebook and Klavalov. So we'll probably get a bump of two, maybe three more people. That'll be great. Are we telling everybody about Brian or no?
No,
No.
I
Yeah.
just posted that. If you have questions about Brian and his business, he'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yes. He's got to figure out a place to make a pee-pee. So just let him do what he's got to do. Uh,
Have you been out to Starcade here in Roseville?
I have not, but I ate in it when it was a green mill, and whatever else the other half was. But my wife just found out, it's now public that Starcade is closing slash moving.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I was gonna
She
let Brian talk to that.
Well, it's too bad. Everybody knows now. When my wife comes into my room and she goes, "Oh my God, look what happened to Starcade," and I'm like, "Yeah, I've known for like a month, so
Yeah.
just it's."
Well, maybe it's better they won't get sued by Disney.
I think they're good though. There's a Starcade TV show, and
Well, Starcade television shows have been around longer than anything,
right, except I mean,
but I don't think anybody owns that property in the same way.
yeah, I wonder who owns the trademark on the words Starcade. That's a
I
good
don't
question.
know.
Ah, we lost Billy permanently. It's okay. Nobody on the Twitch knew we were even trying to bring him in here, so.
Well, maybe he'll go find a computer that is a little.
Right. I have to go into my attic and get the wire out and bring it downstairs.
Why don't you just wire a jack?
Yeah, well, that's a lot of effort. I just figured out how to focus, okay? Fuck.
So I was watching Clay Cowgill's Facebook page the other day, and he had this. He kind of demos all his little fixes.
Yeah.
And one of the things he was demonstrating was something called a Magna pull. Have you heard of this thing?
No.
So
It's not a way to take a tooth out or anything, right?
no, this is like a $500 kit on Amazon, or you can
Oh
buy,
my.
or you can buy the last year's model, which is
Wow.
like $180 or something. But it has a rare earth magnet attached to a lead about 12 inches long. And so what he did is he attached a chain to it and then a cable, and he threw this 12-inch lead with this heavy magnet into his ceiling, finished basement. And then it has a roller that has a a magnet as well, and he pulled this thing through the ceiling effortlessly along the path he needed to pull the wire for. It's called a Magnapull. I'm gonna get
pretty
one.
cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one.
Well, I got a one-story house with no basement, so
It's Proc's telling us that the Starcade people are pretty litigious, but I find that hard to believe since they didn't come after Starcade Minnesota or the Starcade on the East Coast, and also Disney. I mean, like
and the Starcade TV show, right?
that's what he just said. The Starcade television show.
Oh shit!
They're litigious, but I've never heard of that because like I think there's like one guy that has that stuff.
You know what? We should get Atari to buy it.
Yeah.
Talk to
Hey,
Wade.
Wade, what's up? Wade
Wade,
Rosen.
could you buy Starcade so that we can say that it's Atari Starcade? Nice.
Oh, Brian says that the Starcade folks sent him a cease and desist for trying to run a fake Starcade at a convention, which is like the least of their worries, right? For branding, like a one shot once a year, you're not making any money off it. Like, who the hell cares?
Man, that is crazy.
That is crazy.
We should send them a fake cease and desist from Disney.
Yeah, right.
Full circle.
Actually, I have a cease and desist from Barcade. I could look that up and.
I got a cease and desist from Timeline Arcade.
Yeah.
Because my arcade was originally the Timeline Junction.
Oh.
Arcade and Event Center.
Yeah.
I'm like, so then I became the Space Time Junction.
Seems like a big giant waste of money. Like, how are you honing in on their business? Where are they located?
Oh, I think East Coast. They're very just
Sure.
Very simple. There's nothing really special about them at all. But the thing is that cease and desists are really just sort of whipping out your dick, basically. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're supposed to defend your.
Describe what that's like.
Well, first you lower your zipper. No. Yeah, you're supposed to defend your, I guess trademark or whatever it is. But
yeah,
it's really a weird process, right? So
sure. Oh.
And if you don't send them out, then you actually can't use that in whatever case you eventually need to put out there. So, but I changed my name and I was fine with it. I think Space Time's better.
On a completely related note, tonight's show is called Shazam-a-Lama Ding Dong.
That's right. Finally. I'm pretty sure that's original.
That's pretty sweet. We should change the name to Shazam-a-Lama Ding Dong. I think it'd be hilarious.
I'm gonna watch that this weekend.
What's that?
Shazam. Are you gonna see the Shazam?
Oh,
did you see the other Shazam?
I did see the original Shazam. I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It was cute. It was funny. It was charming. It was like big in superhero pants.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. I don't know that I'm actually kind of hoping the new one is better than the first one.
Well, I mean, the reviews came out. The first one was like a 90%er.
Yeah.
On the Rotten Tomatoes, and this one's about a 70. So.
Oh. So
I don't know if that's a sophomore problem or a DC problem. You know how they're like very.
Yeah, DC. They kind of blow.
Oh my God! I saw like this clip from the Flash TV show, which is the worst show on television right now.
Oh, is it that bad?
The first few seasons were great, like especially the first and second season.
I liked the first couple of seasons of that
show.
They
were amazing, but now they're total shite.
From the English. I'll have to admit I've seen more than 2 seasons of that show though.
Oh, I have too. I actually got through almost everything up until season 9, and then once season 9 finally started, it was just so bad. I'm like, I don't care about this, and I'm not going to watch it.
Well, they run out. I mean, it's like they run out of ideas. They need to hire like new writing staff because.
I agree.
What happens is they're like, what are we going to do now? And then they just take this character that has no business being a superhero and turn him into a superhero.
Right. Everybody on Team Flash has to be a superhero. That's some
Yeah.
BS.
And Elongated Man was hilarious. I wish he hadn't gone away.
Right? What did he do? That was another instance of somebody posting tweets 10 years earlier,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Oh, you're out. You're out."
And
And
he
I'm
was
like,
super apologetic about it and everything, but it's just, it doesn't matter, you know?
"Well, I mean, James Gunn posted weird tweets, and he runs DC now."
Yeah.
Oh my God, we got to get DC. We got to get James Gunn to bring the Elongated Man back.
He
I
should.
mean, they
'Cause
have
that-
stuff in common.
He was a freaking hilarious character. And I think he brought a quirkiness to this show
Right? Yeah.
that I really liked.
Yeah. So the clip they showed, the CW posted it on Twitter. It's just, I don't know if it's Caitlin Snow still or not, but one of the original characters.
Sure.
All she's doing is trying to like have a power.
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
It's
I
just the
forgot about
actress
that.
just. You saw that?
No, the funny thing about her is like, I don't think she really wants to do the show.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they're like,
And isn't
money.
she, like, isn't compared to the rest of this staff? Isn't she like 65 years old or something? I mean,
That actress, she looks really good for her age if she's that old.
she's about. I think she's only 10 years younger than us.
Damn, really?
Yeah. What's her name? Caitlin Snow.
I don't know,
The
but
actress is played by.
okay. Are we googling this? Let's see what
I'm
happens.
totally googling this. What actress? I gotta put actress in my search. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. It's Danielle Panabaker.
Oh, I should know that.
She's been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess she's only 35.
She's 2 years younger than my wife. I was just about to say.
Yeah. Wasn't she on like Party of Five or something like that?
I don't know. She's nice.
She's nice.
She's not. I think she's liked a tweet I tweeted once. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. She's married too.
Shut up. What? I'm married too. Who cares? It's fine.
It's all good. We're all married.
Right. Or at least a little bit.
I
Partially.
did not have intimate relations.
With that woman. Liar.
Oh, it's nothing like bringing in a little bit of 90s political humor to a arcade show. Hey, we have an arcade show here.
Yeah, I like it. So did Billy give up? I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, I haven't seen him. Let's see if he texted me. He's probably
Yeah.
like going
like,
to pawn
forget
his
it.
computer. He's like, screw this. Oh, maybe he'll listen in at least.
Hey, I have a quick arcade question while it's on my mind. I haven't forgotten the question.
Okay.
Do you ever have anybody come over and play your games and replace all of your scores on the top 10 or whatever with
Yeah.
their initials?
Yeah, I have. That guy's not invited over anymore.
Oh, man.
No, that happened at my last arcade party. Chris Frame.
Oh, I see.
Chris Frame, if you're listening to this show, you're a dick.
Oh, man.
And also, I reset all the scores on Star Wars, so good luck.
Oh, man. Oh, he says, I'll be trying to log in momentarily. Billy actually is communicating to us through the Twitch chat.
Nice. Hey, let's see who's in the chat. Oh my gosh, we got this full chat. Hey guys, thanks for listening to the show tonight. We haven't even started it yet. We're just sitting here bantering. But it's gonna be me and it's the Adam and Mark show tonight. We're going back at least 3 seasons for this nonsense. And I mean,
practically the whole, what is it, the whole second season?
oh, I like this name, Alice Sidra.
Ah.
That's a good name. Billy Seven, Drab Snat, Ice Cold Joe is back in the chat. Lizabelle, no,
Elizabeth?
Elizabeth, Kata,
Elizabeth?
Mike Page,
Yeah, Mike Page.
the
Oh, Mike Page,
Mr.
you're good.
Mike Page. You know what we should do for the last episode? We should have a contest and give away a bunch of Mike Page magnets.
Someone is at the gate.
Hey, thanks for letting me figure out how to get Alexa to be British.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, isn't it?
It is.
She sounds so intelligent.
Yeah.
The weather
Or-
sounds so much more sophisticated.
Motion detected at the gate.
Oh man, there's a lot of
Mission
shit going down at the
detected
gate.
The robot sounds so much more sophisticated.
Oh, hey, I think
Why
I see
am
Billy.
I being echoed back? Oh, that's because Billy Seven's trying to join.
Well, his video seems consistent.
What is the barking? Is that you?
And that's my dogs because
Holy crap.
motion is detected at the gate. Here, I'll
The-
mute.
That's what is going on there? That's never happened. And you're
It's
frozen.
insanity. I know, right? Well, no, usually deliveries don't happen this late, but
You're frozen.
I am.
You're frozen like a frozen banana. Yeah, I'm the only one on this show. Oh, hey,
Oh no!
that sounds good, Billy. Give me a test.
Hold on, I'll
You
kick
can
it.
hear me?
Oh yeah, you sound good now.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm good. And yourselves?
Good. Let me just move Mark over here. He's frozen anyway.
I've rejoined.
There you go. Guess we got Billy 7 in the chat. And live. I think he froze up now.
But only one of us can be live. That's not good.
No. He was there for like 10 seconds.
Well, but he froze. Maybe he's not frozen like to him, but for us, it's. Hey, Billy, disconnect and rejoin like I did.
Yeah, he's totally gone now. What a catastrophe.
Oh man,
Who runs this show anyway?
it's like a bunch of amateurs.
Yeah. I'm going to leave him up there just as like a totem. Should we start the show? Maybe, I can't tell if he's in. All right.
Well,
Are
at
you
least
still
there's
here, Mark?
There's a frozen photo. Yeah, you can still see me?
Yeah, I'm leaving the frozen photo up.
Okay, good.
'Cause why not? I'm going to hit the button. Well, there he is.
Are we both live at the same time?
Yes,
Hi.
you are.
We did it.
Billy, give me a mic check.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
All right. All right, hang in there. We're about to start the show. There we go.
Okay, let me grab a different. I'm sitting on my drum floor.
Live from KOYR Studios.
This is Todd Rogers, the king of video games, and you're listening to Arcade Radio.
What's new? What's new? What's new?
Did you know that Chuck E. Cheese was born inside the car?
What's new? What's new? What's new? God, I'm sick of that question.
No matter what I say, it draws controversy.
Videomania has flipped the universe. So what's the score?
Is there anybody actually going to listen to this?
Yeah. Shazam-a-llama ding-dong, that's what. Hey-o, thanks for listening in from the Arcadosphere. This is Season 7, Episode 10 of the Arcade Radio Podcast. Today is Thursday, March 16th, 2023. And the time is now approximately 7:36 p.m. Central. Nice change on that. That's pretty good. I'm your host, Adam Smithy. I'm joined by my co-host, Mark Time Travel Agent Shields. And last and least, Paradise Arcade Shop proprietor and part-time Arrakis Spice Miner, Brian Thurston Howell Armitage III is absent tonight, but filling in for him is Mr. Billy 7. Welcome to the show, Billy. Good to see you again.
All right.
All right.
Billy 7.
So Billy called into the show last week as our roving reporter. And he was live in Kansas City. So here's the thing. We're going to have a little interview with you a little bit later. In the meantime, we'll have you chip in as we go through the show. Mark.
I'm going to grab something to drink. I'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to ask permission. Just do it. Mark, what have you been working on?
Okay, so I got tired of seeing my Dragon's Lair just sitting around, so I sanded it, and I removed as much vinyl as possible, and I've been applying the new vinyl that I bought
excellent.
from, I believe, Quarter Arcade.
Nice.
It's kind of a weird vinyl. You can kind of see a pattern, like if as you step further back. So I assume that means some of the, the little bevels and whatever repeat, but I don't care. It looks beautiful. But I've been doing like one side a day, and today I plugged some holes that I didn't realize that were on the kick plate, and so I'm getting close. I assume tomorrow I'll finish everything up. That'll be fun. And I know just the magic amount. I think it's 18 feet that you need, and you could do an entire cabinet, including the inner sides and the kick plate and the. I even have to do the overhead part.
Which cabinet?
Dragon's Lair.
The Dragon Slayer.
Slayer, yeah. Oh my God, it looks so amazing. This thing has no damage and no water problems or anything. I love it. That's going to come in and be loved on, where you're just, I love this arcade game.
I had to block somebody in the chat.
Oh no, I saw that.
Yeah.
A promoter.
Yeah.
Screw you, promoter. We don't need your promotion.
They're completely blocked from the show now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
And if I could send an FU through here, I would.
Right. It was a crypto guy. By the way, you know what? Even with all the banking stuff, my Bitcoin is going like up and up and up, so I'm excited. That's kind of fun. And then the last thing I'm working on is I got my DeLorean back, and I'm putting together a lithium phosphate 12-volt system. That's excuse me. I'm sorry. Hope you're feeling okay there. That's separate from the battery that's in the car, and so that's going to be kind of a fun learning experience. It has like a power inverter and a Bluetooth thing, and I don't really know, but
well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So before I was kind of freeballing it, where it was just plugged into the cigarette lighter.
I don't think you can say that on the air.
What? No. I did that once during I was at work in talking to people. I wasn't in an interview, but it was definitely a meeting with 75 people.
You freeballed it?
I freeballed it, and then I'm like, wait, this is not a basketball reference?
Oh no.
Okay, well I retract that previous statement. So, Adam, what have you been working on?
Oh, it's just so much stuff, man.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I see all of your floor behind you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, this office is getting a little cleaner, so that's good. Sooner or later, I'm going to replace that couch back there with a bed.
You can't sleep on that couch? I mean, are those wood handrails on there?
Yeah, it's oak. It's a futon.
Sorry, I was inhaling my wine.
It's just oak. It's just oak, man.
I don't laugh at the word oak usually, but tonight.
Tonight, oak is funny. Oak is the funniest thing. No. So I am not working on a Dragon's Lair, but I did. Did you see the pictures from New Wave Toys?
The factory for the Space Ace.
I'm almost like a little sad, actually.
Those guys. I love those guys in China building my New Wave Toys.
They showed all the laborers working on our Space Ace machines.
They're like wearing
China.
like scrubs and blue caps and gloves, and I'm like, oh my God, I hope you guys are being paid well.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me not want to buy them anymore.
Is this on Facebook or Twitch or what?
No, New Wave Toys produces these. What are they? Quarter scale almost?
One sixth scale.
One sixth scale.
You're referring to?
Oh, they sent an email.
Yeah.
Like they send updates to let us know like how the production's going.
Yeah. So
Can
anyhow,
you share this so the rest of us can see it?
No, you have to look it up. But anyway,
it's an email though, but we'll have to figure that out. Yeah.
If we had thought of it before the show, yeah, we'd totally share it, but we didn't. Anyhow, the pictures are somewhat sad, but also your spaces are being worked on right now. And I guess
wait, I got it right here. Hold on, let's see if we can. Can we? Hold on.
Yep.
Actually, that's pretty funny looking.
It looks like the lunch line almost. And what's with the red badge on his thing? What is going on there?
I don't know. He's probably cleared for COVID or something.
There's another photo.
Are they doing a dedicated Space Ace, or is that a Dragon's Lair and a Space Ace?
So they're doing both. Actually, they're doing 3 models. They're doing a Dragon's Lair OG conversion, and then they're doing a Dragon's Lair Space Ace conversion with black T molding, Space Ace conversion with red T molding,
Right.
and then they're doing a dedicated.
Wow.
And the dedicated cabinet is what I ordered.
Me too.
And
Although
so,
I am tempted, like maybe I'll buy the converted Dragon's Lair.
yeah, I
Space
know.
Ace.
I was super tempted to, but I can't drop $100, $250 every time they come out.
Well, they were $119, which is amazing. That's an incredible deal
What?
for pre-order.
But yeah, but
The
you got to
new
buy
ones?
2 of them, so then it's $240 plus shipping. You're up
Right,
over
right.
$250.
Yeah, it's $119 when you pre-order.
Yeah.
Typically, although they did do a fairly cheaper. What's his name with a Z from the movie Big?
Zoltar.
Zoltar.
Yeah, he's $70 or something.
Right.
But he's going to dispense tickets. That's kind of cool.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I bought 2 of those.
I bought
So-
one.
So weren't these quite a bit more expensive before than $100?
No, they are more than $100 during pre-order. They're usually less. Now after COVID and with the inflation costs, pre-orders usually are $139.
Oh, well,
But-
that's
But once
not
they're
bad
once
what
they're
I've seen of them.
released, then they're like they're more.
Right.
Yeah. So
Although I guess we've been getting VIP early order numbers, right?
Yeah,
so we can
we
get
get-
20 off of the 139.
yeah, but then you have to pay shipping, so it all sort of comes out in the wash.
Oh, I see.
Anyway, so New Wave Toys
I
makes
thought
the best stuff.
I thought they were a couple $100, but from what I've seen of them, that's pretty decent. They're a pretty awesome product.
They're
Oh
high,
my
yeah, they're
God.
super high
And-
quality.
And this just reminds me, I bought the Street Fighter 2. Remember I got that, but it
Yep.
got damaged in the mail. And so I submitted, a claim for the U.S. Postal Service, and they gave me a check for $100.
nice.
What?
I know. I'm like, you guys have money? What is happening?
Does anyone remember? Okay, so you brought these up on the show, right? The original Coleco tabletop arcade games. Remember those?
Yes, of course I have.
So
have one
and I've got a couple too. I've got Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man, and there was Donkey Kong and Frogger, and they're really cool. But I don't remember the retail cost. Do you remember the retail cost of those?
They were about-
$39.99.
They were like $50. I think mine still has its price tag on it.
Okay, so $50.
Can you
So
believe it?
So $50, and that was 1981, maybe.
Sounds right.
So $50.
Yep, 1981 Coleco Industries. 4C batteries not included.
So the purchasing power of $50.81 is $165 today.
Oh, it was like freaking super expensive. I never had one as a kid, and then
Yeah.
some years
So-
after we got married, we were on vacation, and I was in an antique shop, and they had like a mint one in the box with the styrofoam and everything. Brought it home, lived in the game room, my old house, my first game room, and we adopted a kitty, and we had to separate him for a little bit from our new cat, or from our existing cat. So he lived in the game room. I came home one day, and he had worked the flap up, started to chew on it, and then he ripped it off by pulling it off.
Oh,
I still have it, and it's not that bad, but the flap just sits on top. But yeah, it was like, and this cat.
But the
he chewed
game
on
is in good
everything.
shape, right?
What's that?
The game is still in good shape, right?
Oh yeah, the game lives in the box though, just because it's on top of Donkey Kong with some other ephemera and crap.
Yeah.
And so
Well, that's cool.
yeah,
But
yeah,
so
I paid-
anyway, what I was
think
going to
paid
say,
50
what I was going to say is, $165 is what your $50 would have got you in '81. So today, that's $165. The games they're producing through New Wave Toys are cheaper, and they're way more advanced.
I know
It's
but the
crazy.
trade-off is you could probably service your original Coleco one, and the new
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
it's probably all done on a little,
A
well, it's not
tiny.
bad, but
Well, some of us could, just gonna get some magnifying glasses and.
So Mark, you have the full set, right? Except for you're missing the micro. You need the micro.
The Micro. Which one's the Micro?
The Micro M90 JVC replica jukebox that is the 1/6 scale jukebox that goes with all those. Or not jukebox, it's a boombox.
Oh, I didn't buy that. No.
Yeah. And actually, I've got my 1/6 scale Han Solo standing next to all my games. But that boombox is pretty sweet. If you buy 2 of them, you can hook them up in series and have them play true stereo, one over here, one right, one left. And they go on sale. So look around Christmas, they'll be probably around $40.
Actually, if I had disposable cash right now and the ceiling height, Proc is selling his 10-foot Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How freaking cool would that be, man?
Oh my God.
Be fine, except for I can't fit it anywhere.
How would I ship it? With Beltman, would they take it? I don't know if it'll fit.
I think it comes apart into two pieces. Hey, Brian's in the chat. Proc, tell us, does the giant Donkey Kong come apart in 2 pieces? While he's doing that, I'm going to talk about what I worked on this week. So my Star Wars machine, I talked about last week, and the woes of me putting in the prom board backwards, which was a nice noob move, and I made another noob move. I could not get this thing to work, no matter what I did, and what was happening is when I switched to Empire Strikes Back, and the sound would get all screwed up. And I switched back to Star Wars, and there would be no problem. So I took one of the soundboards off, one of my repaired boards, which incidentally, this fella down here fixed both of my systems. So anyhow, I took a working soundboard off another board set, put it on this one, and it worked fine. The kit worked fine. It would switch between Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars, no problem. Put in my other soundboard, weird beeps and boops, and then just a mess. So I did a bunch of searching, got on Clav, figured out I dug and found a post with a similar problem. And the guy described this LS 347 at 5K, and said when he went to go look at the board, it was flaking apart, and he replaced it, and boom, problem went away. Okay, great. I thought, oh, now I know what's the problem. So I brought it over to Perry's Arcade Shop because he had a spare chip, and I desoldered it. We put on a new one. Nope, that didn't fix it. Anyway, I replaced like 4 chips that day. And I'm like, I'm not going to replace all the chips on this board. That's it. It's not the way you fix stuff. So I said, can we hook this up to the pad again? I want to see if we can try to figure out what's going on. So Brian has this Atari PAT, which is like a test bench for Atari boards. I plug in everything, and you can see the problem duplicated. And then Brian's like, well, it's got to be a pokey. I'm like, no, it's not a pokey. I replaced all the pokies. I put in and I rotated them, and then I actually replaced every single pokey with some new old stock pokies I had. So I knew it wasn't the pokies, and I replaced pretty much every socketed chip on there just to make sure that it was golden, right? Well, what it turned out to be was a case of RTFM. Read the fine manual.
Oh.
So.
That's how I succeed at work, by the way. Nobody does that. So
in the Vector Labs conversion kit manual, he explicitly states, and I did not see this when I read through it the first time, that you must you should remove the 2 sound ROMs from the soundboard because his kit replaces them. Now, why the kit worked with another board with both ROMs in, I don't know. But as soon as I removed them, that problem went away, and it's been working great ever since. Yeah. So I put all the chips that I pulled out of that board in a bag, in their own individual static bags, and I put them inside the machine. So should I die and somebody sells the machine, all the original chips will be in there, so they can convert it back if they want to. Here's the fun part. Right after we got everything working, I pushed it back, and we're doing some testing. The damn yoke broke.
What? What?
Yeah, the y-axis on my yoke went completely south. So there's probably a wire that came loose or something. But I didn't.
Did you get like a free yoke from those folks that we
Well,
talked
I want to brag about it, but I did get a
Oh,
yoke
the
from
Allen one?
Allen One,
Right, yeah.
which I did put in.
Ah, ha, ha.
And it's a quite nice yoke, I have to say. I was actually going to send those guys a message because it was a lifesaver a couple of days ago. And we played Star Wars pretty much the whole night until we switched to Super Strike.
Oh, man.
Super Strike is such a fun game, man.
My K7000, my Super Strike, just hates me. But they're very sensitive. Like, I learned that I had another machine that it kept having problems, and it was because the ground plug in my plug was not actually grounding anything. It had broken off, and somebody had shoved it back in to the plug.
Okay.
So it was kind of fake grounding.
That sucks.
Yeah, that does suck.
K7000s are pretty solid. So
Yeah.
Brian replied back in the chat, it does not come apart. The giant Donkey Kong, 10-foot Donkey Kong that is for sale right now in Florida. It does not come apart. It has casters on it, so you just need it to roll it around. You can just roll it up to Minnesota on its casters.
Speaking of Star Wars, is his Star Wars one for sale too?
Does he have a 10-foot Star Wars?
I
Yeah.
thought so.
What?
I think he just needs to get rid of one, though, right? That'd be a giant vector monitor. Or is it just a 25-inch amp?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've seen a giant one.
I think the
Yeah.
giant one, the giant Donkey Kong had a flat screen in it, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that could be. Well, then it would be running MAME.
Yeah.
It says it's a 65-inch TV.
Probably a flat screen.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's probably masked off at the top and the bottom, so it probably displays in 4x3.
Well,
I
we're
saw-
talking
I saw
about
it.
Brian here. So
I
you
saw it
know
at
it's
the
gonna
hangar,
look
but
and work.
I was unable to play it
Oh.
because it wasn't running. So I didn't see the TV in it either.
I saw it at Southern Fried, like in 2019 or so. Good times.
Yeah, one of the problems with the early 1-ups is they did not play exactly as the original. They have a little tiny bit of lag. I don't know if they fixed that in the second run, but hey, did you guys watch that interview with Stephen Colbert and Steven Spielberg and John Williams that was on a couple weeks ago?
I've only seen clips.
Because the entire interview is great, but
He has a one-up Star Wars behind him, doesn't
he has a 1-up Star Wars behind him. Did you also notice what was behind over Stephen Colbert's left shoulder in the
No.
interview?
No.
A Dig Dug, an original Dig Dug.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's cool.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
Now,
You know, I know people get all down on the 1-ups, but they got a place in the world. I really believe that. And, you know, at the shop, we get people that come in all the time and they want to buy just, you know, all of us, everybody in the chat, you two, we all started out and we all had to figure out, you know, whether it's the first game or not we got, there was a point where we went out looking for equipment. And honestly, if you don't have one and you're starting out at your home and you want to show the kids, and I don't know, I mean, and most of them, like the Mortal Kombat, you get multiple versions, the Ridge Racer and all that. So I'm not going to own one. I should say that. If the right thing, I was kind of interested in the NBA Jam because it was online competition. So I did think about that. So they have a place, I think.
no, I agree. I actually have two 1-ups. I have a Partycade that has AKA-R in it, and that was the first release of AKA-R that Atari licensed.
That's on the 1-up?
It's on the Partycade 1-up.
Oh, that small one you have on your wall?
No, it's not on a wall, but yeah, it's in a windowsill.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
It has
I always
a-
thought that was a wall too, but my bad.
It has a 17-inch monitor in it. It's a pretty big.
Yeah, it is big. It's a big boy.
Yeah, so it actually feels like a pretty decent arcade when you play it. It's got Centipede, Millipede, it has a couple of Bronze Age games in it. It's actually quite an awesome set of games in there. It also has the other 1-up I have is and thanks. This is to Ice Cold Joe, who's in our chat right now. he tipped me off to the Galagas that went on sale for $50 at Walmart when they were closing them out.
Oh, wild.
And so I have a little tiny counter. They're called countercades, and those are real small. Those have like an 8-inch screen in them. And I converted that to leaf buttons and put lit buttons in it. So it's actually quite charming. It sits on my bar. And we played that the other day. It was because it's just so tiny and it sits there, right? But my buddy Eric was over and he was helping me with, the control panel and stuff on Star Wars, because it's kind of a 2-person job on that Star Wars machine. You can do it yourself, but it's easier with 2 people. And so he was over, helped me out, and we were having a couple cocktails, and we played Star Wars, Galaga, and Super Strike. We had a good time.
Super Strike.
I gotta say here real quick, Mr. Netropolis. I agree. They're not an arcade game, but for certain people, the hobby's got to go around. And one of the things I always looked at is like, if no one parts games out, the cheap bastard that I am, I'm not going to find any parts. So
one of the problems,
but I did answer. Mr. Peabody helped me answer this question. If and when they come out with the Exterminator 1-Up, I'll be buying one.
Oh yeah.
So one of the things
I've been looking forever for one, and although when I say that, unlike most collectors, they have a pocketbook and they're like, I want this. I've just been spending all these years waiting to bump into one in a corner somewhere or whatever. Yeah. But I'd probably buy that as a 1-Up just because,
because it would just to spite me. Or
what's your?
I like it. I honestly like the game.
It's a terrible game, Billy. It's a terrible game.
It has problems playing, but it's so goofy.
No, there's just nothing fun about it.
I have a lot of rare games that suck. So
yeah, that's the thing, right? A lot of rare games really suck.
True.
Although Brian does have a 4-player Eliminator that I'm looking forward to playing. So some games don't suck. That's not one of them. Although
the cabinet is so crazy. Come on, you got to just be like.
Yeah, you know what? You can build your own birdhouse. And also, Billy, you post a picture of Domino Man.
Yep.
That game sucks.
It does. It's kind of like E.T. There's like a kind of a good idea for the remedial time when it was issued, but
what wasn't even remedial?
Kind of janky.
It actually was pretty. It was a culmination of some advances in the industry, and just they must not have play tested it because it sucks. You can't possibly win that game at any level.
Well, they did. There was a change. God, it's been so long now.
And I think it's probably worse than Zaxxon, and I don't say that about many games.
I get the Zaxxon hate myself too, because when I walked up to it as a kid, I'm like, what the stink is this? And it's that, what do you call it? The isometric.
Right.
Isometric 3D.
You're trying to play a game that we had been, by that point, even groomed that you basically have up, down, left, right, that you move your character, or
there's only one game that does isometric 3D properly, and it's Q*bert. Now,
yes.
Now, if you play Congo Bongo, Zaxxon, or Return of the Jedi, and you like them, you're a blanking masochist. And fine if you like them, but I hate them. I hate all of them, and I don't hate the people that play them. Oh, also Zaxxon. I think the problem with Zaxxon is A, it has an awesome name. B, it has an awesome theme. And C, it's got great sound. So you walk up to this game and you think, this is really cool. And you put in a quarter and you frickin' die. It's a betrayal. Zaxxon isn't just a shitty game. It's a betrayal.
I know. There was Zaxxon at the Circle K 2 blocks from here when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I probably watched the attract sequence more than I ever played the game because I was like, oh, look how good they're doing on the attract sequence.
That's the thing.
Well, and to that point, with Q*bert, I remember trying to play it at first, and I struggled because I'm like, it ain't going left, it ain't going right, you know. And it took a little bit to get kind of, again, that whole movement. So any of these games,
I think Hubert did it better because they reoriented the joystick, and so it was in a diamond formation, and it was actually forcing you to go diagonally down, left and right, which is the way it should be played.
But I still took some time, especially as a kid, to figure that out, you know. Although still to this day, and I know I'll probably mention it when I've been on the past, and when you had Jeff, anyway,
Goldblum.
exactly, The Fly,
Yes.
or Buckaroo Banzai. But
why is that watermelon there? I'll tell you later.
Wherever you go, there you are. But I forgot what I was going to say. But in the chat, they're wondering about this. This one is not a gremlin. It's I can't remember. It's called Electro Dart, and they were asking about it and making fun of it or something here. But
that's actually a really fun game.
That's of that era, but it's dang it! Oh, look at the coin box.
Electro
I
Dart.
can't think of it. I can't think of it. Oh well.
Play again.
But the answer, what? Oh yeah, well here. Of course, I don't have a token.
I think that's made by Crafts. Crafts Automatics, maybe, or something.
No, yeah, I can't. So
is it a Minnesota game?
No, it's I'll think of it when I stop trying to look into the sun, thinking of the name. So you got a box like this.
Yeah.
And for all intents and purposes, it's a garage door controller of the era. And so I coined it up. And it's one coin, 2 players. So you can play it by yourself as 2 players or have a friend. And there's no different frequencies. So if you have multiple boxes,
you're controlling all of them.
Yep. So I just leave one box out. This is an original Bakelite box in good shape as I probably drop it here and break it. But so you push the button and you hold it. And which one's this? Tom. So you got Tom and Dick, I think. So you push it, and his arm starts to move. There's light bulbs behind the screens. So the goal is to push and hold the button, and as he's coming forward with the dart at the right point of your fulcrum or whatever the hell you call it, you release the dart, and that's when you let go of this button. So we'll see if I can do it here.
Oh my God! What?
I can't do it watching the video, but I'll do it. So watch his arm that you can't see.
Right, I can kind of see it.
Oh, I didn't coin it up. I thought I coined it up. Hang on.
Oh, something happened.
There we go. Now it's coined up. So now I push and hold. Now we got Dick up there.
Yep.
Arm goes back, let go. And the more accurate, I got a bulb out. So the more accurately you let this go at the end of the throw is closer to getting a bullseye. So we'll try it again here. Back, let go.
Oh my God.
So there we go. So I got 4 points. So again, you're pushing and holding. And this is one of those games where sometimes people come over and they'll try some of these odd ducks and they can't figure it out because like Zaxxon, you walk up to it and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to fly this way. And no, you're trying to figure. So we'll try it once more. So holding, letting go. And woo, bullseye.
Nice.
And so it'll play to, it's not 99. I think it's 93 or 7. Maybe I could be wrong. So it's really fun as a 2-player because, again, you got to get this down. But once you get it down and there's two people playing really well, the game goes quick. And it comes down to literally letting this go at the right time. You end up with, you got 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So if you make one mistake while you're playing, it can screw up your whole game. So they're a lot of fun, but there's no sound to this one. Some of the wall games had sounds, like the Bally bowling one. I can't think of it. Had chimes in it. Some had score reels. So everything you see on here, and then I'll wrap this up. So like all of the scores over there, there's actually, are they here? No, I had two of them, and I made one work, and then took the other one and kept it for parts. But basically, there's light bulbs behind here, and so the digits there, where they've got that segmented 8 display or whatever, each segment has a light bulb behind it. So they're not segmented LEDs. There's literally a light bulb. So when he throws, when you're doing that right there, a light bulb is lighting up behind each movement of the arrow, and then as the dart goes across the screen, it's the same thing. There's a light bulb behind each one. So
That's pretty wild.
There's probably 70 light bulbs or more in there. And as you saw in my early one, you can have one go out. And it's a pain to take the screen off to replace the single light bulb.
Nice.
But I love it.
Sweet. Hey, Adam, do you want to go to a segment?
Sure, why not?
The arcade news, arcades, pinball, industry alumni, arcade openings, collecting, celebrities, world record holders, operators, coin-out, conventions. The arcade news.
We interrupt the ventilated electric.
And now, the arcade news with Adam Stevens.
That's me, Adam Stevens. Yeah, that's me. How you guys doing? You doing good?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Are you? Is it one glass of wine do it for you?
No, now we're on to some beer.
Oh, beer, B-I-E-R.
Like in Germany, right? This is the Deep Sea Decoy.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah.
So from GameInformer.com, Atari acquires Berserk, Frenzy, and 10 more classic arcade properties. Atari has revealed that it has acquired 12 classic arcade properties, including Berserk and its sequel Frenzy. Strangely, though, Atari did not reveal the other 12 properties it has acquired, or not all of them. So those are 2 of the 12. So in the press release announcing the news, the company only lists Berserk and Frenzy. Atari simply says it has acquired a dozen arcade games, so it's likely the other 10 properties are from the same era of arcade games, such as Berserk and Frenzy, in case you're just tuning in.
Maybe some other Stern games, right? Maybe Cosmic Avenger? No, wait, that's Universal, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they acquired because, they've been doing a really good job with the Recharged series, the remix and Recharged stuff. And so AKR just came out with this new version. I talked about that last week. But they have Missile Command, Black Widow, Tempest, 4000, and a couple other ones. And they're all very fun to play. They're just... I think in the 90s, there were some re-releases of some classic arcade games for the PlayStation that were horrible. Like Defender, like a first-person Defender, and it's just they were not true to the original game in any way, shape, or form. So I'm sorry if you like those, but I thought they were dumb. So anyway, the press release reads, Atari will seek to expand digital and physical distribution of classic titles, creating new games based on the IPs, and explore brand and merchandising collaborations, which is what they've been doing with the Remix series and the Recharge series. Atari says Berserk is a top-down, multi-directional shooter designed by Alan McNeil that was released for the arcades in 1980. It's perhaps best known for being the first arcade video game with speech synthesis. So, following its arcade release, Berserk... Was that true?
That's a good question.
Was Berserk the first one?
I feel like a lot of games purport to...
Isn't I believe Gorf is technically the first one, but it might have something to do with the speech chip because there were different speech chips used, the Voltrax.
Yeah.
And...
but if you're going to claim the first, you got to be... You know what I mean? So...
Yeah, well, one of them was so cool because you should, if anybody here is interested, if you look up the speech chips, one of them they use samples and such, And then there's another one, and I think it's the Voltrax, that actually was built around phonetics. So that the chip is full of phonetic sounds that they use to assemble the words.
Sure.
So it had a huge vocabulary, but was very robotic because it was limited to the synthesis that the chip could produce versus like a Xenon where Suzanne was recording herself and putting it in the chip.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool story if you're interested in looking it up.
But synthesized speech, as Billy's pointing out here, is different than sampled speech. So, but I'm reading here that Stratovox is a Japanese game that used in 1980 was the first one to actually use synthesized speech. So, and I think there were others as well.
That game has such great artwork.
One of the things. So I think when they write these articles, they really should, fact check and then maybe, because we're always factual on the show. So I think they should. It's one of the first games, and then you're covered, right? So,
well, the difference is we're all nerds here, and wherever you were getting that, I don't remember. It's probably less of a
the nerd thing. I got that from my parents. So Berserk was ported to the Atari 2600
I meant
and the Atari 5200 by the console maker Atari. Frenzy is actually a sequel to Berserk. Blah blah blah. We know this.
Yes.
Anyway, it's interesting. I think Wade Rosen is doing some interesting things with the brand. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to have him on the show, actually. I don't know if he would do it, but that'd be kind of cool.
I always kind of wonder if Mark's on satellite when I talk to him.
Oh, because of the delay? I was actually reading the rest of that paragraph and wondering how you were going to summarize it.
Well, it's hard to summarize something that most people already know about in our chat.
It's only been out for 6 hours. Well, now 8 hours.
I mean, we've already talked about the property being purchased, Mark. Everybody knows the backstory of Frenzy and Berserk. I'm not going to read the summary of...
It's a damn shame we never got Alan McNeil. He passed in 2017.
That's terrible.
Yeah. The last thing he did was release the Berserk source code as he was dying. And so,
oh, my God.
Wow, I hadn't heard that.
So this next article is thebleedingcool.com says Devolver Digital will be releasing House of the Gun Dead into arcades in a few locations in the U.S. and more to come. I don't even know if I want to read this.
Jump to the very end where they talk about the arcades they decide were worthy.
So if you want to know about this, it's House of the Gun Dead. I'm not really a fan of this genre.
It's a light gun game.
Sure.
And people are very confused. Like, why would you release an arcade game? You could just send this to home and make $1 billion or something. You know what I mean?
So they're releasing House of the Dead without a gun on a
No.
It's a different game.
This is a game called House of the Gun Dead.
When did that come out?
Just now.
Like this week.
Yeah.
So this is an arcade game.
Yeah, dude, Billy, catch up. This is the news. We're talking about new stuff right now.
What? Oh, freaking A, man. I'm old. Everything around me.
Plug in your hearing aids. Plug in your hearing aids and look at the screen.
Oh, no.
Okay. So the House of the Gun Dead is due to roll out in the following arcades in the coming weeks, with cabinets blasting to additional locations soon. Danger Zone Arcade in Arizona. I'm going to be in Arizona next week. I'll go check it out. Nice. High Score Saloon in Evansville, Indiana. Waypoint Cafe in New York. Arcade Stop Button in North Carolina. Bayou Tech Brewery in Louisiana. And Super Abari Arcade in South Carolina. What the hell is that? Super Abari.
No idea. Abari? Sounds like it should be Atari.
Yeah, well, they don't want to get sued.
It's probably a play on words.
And then Free Play in Dallas.
Which is who I bought my Disc of Tron from. Very nice guys.
Yeah. So
also attorneys. Very weird.
So if you want to play, a Gun Dead game. By the way, Billy, this game just came out. Just like now. Just came out. It's brand new.
Now.
When you go to Arizona, you know of Castles and Coasters, do you not?
Nope, I do not. I do know of
Are you gonna be near Phoenix?
Cobra Arcade, which I don't know if it's still there, but
Are you gonna be near Phoenix?
I am going to be near the Phoenix.
Okay, so Castle and Coasters is imagine like a small valley fair in the corner of Rosedale parking lot. And they legitimately have multiple coasters, a huge golf course, a mini golf course, and a huge arcade. Now, I haven't been in, oh my God, I think we're coming up on 20 years since I was there last. But as far as I know, it's still there, and it's worth a stop, just if nothing else, to see this huge amusement park put in the corner of a big mall.
What's it called again?
Castles and Coasters.
I'm going to probably be 40 minutes from Phoenix proper, so I don't know if I'll get over there or not. But we're flying into Phoenix, and I'm there to visit my mom, not play arcade games. So, but I will, but if we can, and we have nothing else to do, I will definitely check that out.
Take your mom with you.
I did
Mom.
that when we
Show
went to.
us thanks for the love that she helped instill in you for this.
As much as she could fit in there.
Yeah. Okay. So anyhow, moving on. I did bring my mom to an arcade in Arizona last time. We went to Cobra Arcade Bar, which I wear the T-shirt on the show once in a while. They now have 2 locations, one in Phoenix, one in Tucson, and they're open every day, 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. And they have an awesome little bar and a great collection of games to play, classic games, Battletoads, Asteroids Deluxe, Altered Beast, all the classics, Simpsons, Cubert. There's just a ton. Go check it out. It's CobraArcadeBar.com, also in Arizona. So, Mark, I think that means we're going to move on to the next segment, which is all about you.
Back in '82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin a quarter mile.
Back to the cave with Time Runner.
I still love that bumper.
Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
Hey everybody, and welcome to Back to the Cave, where we talk about, firstly, Back to the Future. So, Michael J. Fox was interviewed recently. He doesn't usually make a habit of watching his own films, but he had a rather unique reaction recently when he was clicking through TV and Back to the Future was on. Do you realize Michael J. Fox is 61?
Isn't he in a new documentary called Still?
I need to check that out. I do not know.
Yeah.
Still, I'll look into that. Anyway, so yeah, he was talking to Entertainment Weekly, and he recalls how it felt to watch himself in the opening scene of the original film. I'm assuming this is when he's at docks. He goes, a few Christmases ago, we were in the living room decorating the tree. I went to the TV to get some cookies. And then 20 minutes or so, they said, "Hey, Mike, where the hell are you?" And he had stopped in front of it because he saw the opening of Back to the Future, and he hadn't watched it since 1986.
Wow. Oh,
my God. So we watched it. The kids came in, watched me watch Back to the Future. Then they got bored and left.
Oh, that's funny.
That's good times. He says to his wife, Tracy, after he saw it, "You know what? I'm pretty good in this movie." And she goes, "Yeah, no shit." Welcome to the Admiration Club. And that is the end of our Back to the Future news. This really happened.
Hey, did I tell you before that I actually told Christopher Lloyd to his face once that I'm not a stalker?
What?
I'll make it as quick as I can. So in my old world job, in the restaurant area, there was supposedly a noise coming from the ceiling, and the GM's like, "Oh, you need to be there for a little bit, so I'll have you. We'll come up, we'll have breakfast, and we'll hang out." And I wasn't, I always felt uncomfortable. Anyway, so I couldn't hear it. It was noisy, so I said, "I'll come back after lunch," and that's the point between or breakfast and dinner. The restaurant was closed, so you had to go into the bar. So I had some paperwork. I'm sitting in a booth in the restaurant. It's closed, and I'm waiting to hear this sound because it only happens every so often. And there shouldn't be anything up in the ceiling in that area. So the bartender brings someone and sits them in the restaurant, and I didn't think much of it. and I looked over once briefly, looked back, and was standing up every once in a while and kind of listening and walking around, trying to hear whatever this noise was. And this dude's sitting there eating soup, and he's I look over at him, and I was always trying to make funnies and stuff when you're in the elevator with guests or whatever.
Right.
And so I look over at the dude, and I'm like, hey, I don't want you to worry. I'm not a stalker. I'm not stalking you. I'm just listening for this noise nobody else can hear or something like that. So, and he's just sitting there with the spoon, and he's like looking at me, and he stops because I'm like, I'm not a stalker. So I go about my business. He gets done eating, gets up to leave, and the bartender comes over and is all excited. Hey, I got Christopher Lloyd's autograph. I'm like, what? Yeah, he signed his check. And I'm like, and the crazy thing is in that morning, I was walking through the lobby to the front office for a morning meeting, and we were always made aware of when celebrities were in house, which was not uncommon, sports, whatever. And the idea was, as management, you would let your staff know. So anyway, so I was walking through the lobby of the morning staff meeting, and I'm like, dang, that dude looks like Christopher Lloyd. When I go to the morning staff meeting, nothing was said at the weekly meeting. Nothing was said that morning. So I just thought and then I was busy doing my paperwork and listening to the noise. So I was just making a silly. And so, yes, I actually was 5 feet away from Christopher Lloyd, leaned in and goes, don't worry, I'm not a stalker. So
nice.
And I didn't even realize it till after the fact. Anyway, sorry about that. You may continue on.
Oh, I can't because Adam went to go take a pee-pee. So.
Oh, well, let's.
Maybe there's a
little.
little.
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Ready? The rock, paper, scissors. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I cut you, man. I cut you.
I can't see your video is cut off, so I'm gonna say. Hold on, let me expand the video here. Just a moment. Let's see. Oh, Adam's back. Okay, one more game.
Glad for that, huh?
Here we go. One more. Ready?
All right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, right. 1, 2, 3.
Adam was.
1, 2, 3.
Ah, crap.
Adam was in there too. That was awesome. Yeah. Hey, that's what you should have instead of what's in the juke.
Forget. Yeah,
rock,
this is
paper, scissors contest.
What now?
We're dumping what's in the juke. We're dumping it. We're never doing it again. No, I'm just kidding.
What's in the juke?
Okay, now I'm out of breath. Welcome to the Season 7 edition of What's in the Juke. It's the game within a game within a podcast. Today, we feature super short, isolated audio tracks from the 80s.
I like the 80s.
Yes, if you can guess the title of the song, you will get...
half point.
Look at the comments.
If you can guess the name of the band.
Half point.
This show's
Did I say
so
the name of the group
fucked
twice? Well, the title
off the
is not.
rails.
If you can guess both.
Full point.
Hey, if you don't know the answers, fight it out. Fight it! Fight! Kick him in the nuts. Oh. So now that the fighting is over, let us begin.
Okay, here's your first track.
Gripping your pillow tight.
Oh my god, I do that every night.
All right.
I can't get this thing open.
That's what she said. Looks like we got Metropolis with Enter Sandman.
Oh, I'm not.
And
anymore.
Mr. Peabody right after that with Metallica.
You know what I like about this show? Nothing.
Oh man, what?
Why is it so bright in here all of a sudden?
What are you doing?
I don't know, switching profiles?
Yeah.
Oh, are you keeping score?
Yeah, of course. Brian's not here.
Half point.
For those guys, here we go.
You gotta whip it up.
Well, I know this song.
Nice.
I'm a pro at this song.
It is 1990. You're correct. Some of these may bleed back through 70s or 90s, but we'll be good. Nitropolis, I am sorry, sir. It is not legs. Mr. Peabody is correct with "Give Me All Your Lovin'," and he got ZZ Top right in after that.
Full point.
All right, Mr. Peabody, making a comeback this week.
Here we go. Next track.
Where else can you do 500,000 things? All at a quarter to 3.
At the bodega. No, I don't know.
When they play that music, ooh, that modern music. They pack it with a lot of jazz.
Looks like D. Jones is on the board.
Half point.
Nice. Way to go. Way to go.
Huey Lewis. Or she got, not sure. And Mr. Peabody got Hard Rock and Roll.
Half point.
Half point.
Metropolis right behind him, though.
As usual.
When the wall made me crash my car and make me feel 3 feet thick.
Well, I skipped a track, but that's okay.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
3 feet thick.
Thick.
That's hard to say.
Yeah.
I get it. God dang, I can't get this open.
So it looks like Metropolis got Huey Lewis.
Nice.
And
half point.
Need a New Drug, D. Jones.
Nice.
Rising star, D. Jones.
Way to go, D. Jones. Welcome to the chat. I'm going to open this nice bottle of 10-year port.
Oh, I love how they have the generic, label. Is that just typical for ports?
That's because Kopke makes most of them.
Is it Ruby or Tawny?
What year? 10 year?
It's 10. Yep.
So 2013, back in the good old days.
It's a Tawny. I like the Tawny ports myself.
Back when Arcade Outsiders was on.
Yeah.
Back when you could
order things from RAM Controls.
Oh, we still can, sir.
We just had it.
Oh, you can?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but we call him he who should not be named now.
I know.
Funny
but I'm
thing
not
is,
paid for this, so...
If you order something from RAM Controls, you'll get it before you get it from Rich.
That's true. That's what we were talking about. Sorry, Rich.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
Rich.
Yeah.
Rich.
What?
Oh, did I just...
Drug.
Am I being controversial now?
Not really. We're not talking about Billy Mitchell, so it's all good.
Whoa.
I love Billy. Hey, don't forget to get that one that you missed. Oh, yeah.
Andy SAE0. What the hell does it even mean? Sayo? Andy says? Andy says he actually got his Star Wars yoke from RAM. And it's funny, I got my Star Wars yoke rebuild kit from RAM. That was when I first got into the hobby. And then I learned afterwards, never order anything from RAM.
Right.
So, and I've learned the hard way never to order anything from Rich, but,
Whoops.
There I go again. I'm such an asshole.
It starts off with RAM, Rich. I don't know.
Yeah.
Next song?
5 years.
Oh, yeah, or previous song that we skipped.
5 years. I have a T-shirt that he has not delivered in 5 years.
I have a Discs of Tron control panel. We're coming on 3.5 years.
Nice.
So.
And you've already paid him, right?
Of course.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Okay, here comes your next track.
Rumors spreading round in that Texas town.
This is one of my all-time favorite songs ever.
Okay, and don't forget you skipped a song, so you still have to go back
to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Play it again.
Rumors spreading round in that Texas town.
So it looks like Metropolis got Lagrange and ZZ Top. Way to go, sir.
Lagrange.
How?
That is...
that's what makes the Getaway High Speed 2 so freaking awesome, is that song.
Half point. Full point.
All right, where are we at?
About an hour and a half into the show.
Mr. Peabody is at 2 points. Metropolis at... I've actually tracked him twice. Oh, man. He's probably tied with Mr. Peabody. I'm just going to combine some.
Metropolis is tied with himself.
I haven't had to keep score in so long, I almost forgot how to do it. Oh, you know what? I've lost D. Jones, so they're in there as well. So, yeah.
Nice. Okay, here comes your next track.
We've had some fun.
Yes, we've had our ups and downs.
Ooh, Rita Coolidge.
You're right. Rita Coolidge is not it. Yeah. That was an epic fail. Oh. Another Huey Lewis. Stuck with You is correct. So
Okay,
half
let's
point
see where
to
we're at.
Metropolis, half point to Mr. Peabody.
Half point.
For those fellas. Hey.
Still tied. 2.5 points each.
That's my favorite one.
This beer
I learned
is
it by
very
watching
strong.
you.
I don't think I can do math right now, but we're going to keep trying.
This port is nice.
That's what I say every time I get off a cruise ship.
So for my birthday, the local liquor store lets you pick any liquor you want out of their
Really?
Out of
Their
their
Blue
liquor
Light
store
Kit?
Underwear?
for wow, that is even for you, Mark. That's pretty. That's a.
I told you this beer was strong. Don't
Oh
judge.
my god, that's just not. I mean, that's. I don't even know what to do with you. Anyway, on your birthday, you can pick anything you want for 50% off. And so I bought a bottle of 1976 port,
Oh my.
Wow.
and it was probably still cost me like $100, but it was amazing. I mean, it was like $80. It was $160 or something like that. But anyway, really, really fun treat. And I
You have to live in the area?
no, you just have to go and be part of their wine club. So, but yeah, if you're in the wine club, you get half off on any bottle you want out of the store. He does. What is happening? He
I heard
does.
some
He
laugh-
does not let you. You know, like he doesn't carry King Louis, so you're not going to.
Oh, okay.
Did you know there's the oldest known vintage port still available from a shipper is the 1815 Ferriera?
Wow.
Can you imagine?
I'm imagining it. I can imagine quite a bit.
A tasting in 1990 described it as a intensely spicy aroma, cinnamon, pepper, and ginger.
You'll
Hints
get
of
it.
exotic woods, iodine, and wax.
I better.
Interesting.
Next track.
We've had some fun.
will see. More is all you need. Dedicated to how I'm killing you.
Wow, that is incredible without the instruments.
Yeah.
This was recently featured in a very popular streaming television series.
That's right. We got Metropolis with Metallica, and he also got Master of Puppets. Metropolis in for
Full
first
point.
place.
Master. Master of Puppets, I'm pulling you. Actually, I really liked Damage Incorporated and Battery. Those are great songs off that album.
All right, here comes your next track.
Well, I'm taking my time. I'm just moving on.
Oh yeah. I like bands that have spaceships on their albums. That's what I like.
Mr. Peabody got you with Boston.
Half point.
And let's see how they're doing here.
Boston.
Man, not a lot of Boston fans. It's interesting.
That is weird.
I just threw one Boston song in here.
Well, I'm taking my time. I'm just moving on.
I'd have to disagree with Andy after hearing that track. That is some incredible vocal there. And of course, he's gone now.
Oh man, foreplay by Coleco. No, that is not correct. Amanda, no. Dr. Jones.
No.
Oh, are we giving it up? No, not more than a feeling. I think it's possible a lot of Boston songs have a similar pattern. I'm sorry, guys, but we're gonna have to move on. That was Long Time by Boston. That's right.
Yep.
We love you, Long Time.
Oh, Coleco 1981 got it just before we said it.
Did he? Yep, he did. Okay.
Half
You're on
point.
the board, Coleco. Congratulations.
Nice. And also a nice name. Okay, here comes your next track.
Never cared for what they do.
Blah.
Never cared for what they know.
Blah.
But I know.
That's pretty awesome.
I like how you spelled the name in this track.
Oops. I thought, yeah. Oh, look how it's misspelled a few times.
Metallica.
Metallica. Looks like we got
Half point.
Oh, nobody's gotten the song yet.
Nope.
Really?
Metropolis got the band with Metallica, of course.
Nobody got this song?
That was Nothing Else Matters.
Coleco got it in.
Again. He got it again at the last second.
Damn it, Coleco, your time traveling chat.
He's got a full point now.
Full point.
Yes, tied with Dr. Jones.
All right, here comes your last track.
Tougher than diamonds, rich like cream.
Oh, I like the echo you put on that.
Yeah, some things have a little bit of a problem being isolated, but that one.
That was nice.
All right, Metropolis with Huey Lewis.
Eddie Money was close, I'm telling you.
And Power of Love, boom!
All right.
Way to go, guys.
Half point. Full point.
So that worked out pretty well. Metropolis came into first place with 5 points, and then Mr. Peabody in second place with 3 points, and Dr. Jones and Coleco in third place tied at 1 point. You guys are awesome.
You guys did great.
Do we have any voicemails?
Yes, we do.
Guys, if you ever want to leave us a voicemail,
or you could text us
at 612-548-GAME.
That's right. I was going to call in and give you my roving report from last week.
Oh, that's going to be your interview.
Yeah,
Can I do that right now?
we played that on the show.
I could do it right now.
Well,
okay.
After Bobby Z.
Yeah, we'll get to you.
No, I know.
You just
I know.
pipe down, sir. You
What?
pipe down.
Oh my!
This is guy.
Actually, that's still one of my favorites is when you did the open call line and was able to dial in without you seeing me. That was a lot of fun.
What? Oh yeah. And our voicemail system. Oh, suspect. Here's one that's suspected spam.
Uh-oh.
I can't be Bob because I've got his.
You
Yeah.
have his in the special voicemail.
Yeah. No. Yeah. This is so great. Okay, so checking the voicemail, and there are no. Oh wait. Oh yep, we got a voicemail. You'll never guess who it's from.
I don't know.
Coolidge?
I'll give you one guess.
Bobby
Hey,
Brown.
Didn't they? The funny thing is, nobody uses phones. Like even Gen Xers, they don't use phones. Unless they're me, because that's why I got this number. Because I thought, well, that'll be fun. We'll have a call-in number. Just like the good old days. But what happened to the days where did you guys used to call into radio stations when you were kids?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I wrote dialers up. I programmed dialers so I could win like movie tickets and whatever.
It sounds like you. But my point is like I used to call on and make requests all the time. You know.
We're playing this for Adam tonight. Hey, he's missing his girlfriend. She stopped calling him. All right, here
is Song for the Brokenhearted by Ben Folds 5.
Stairway to Heaven by Van Halen. All right, you enjoy it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you got the good throat one there. Yeah, they talk like this. Kings of Diesel this week, top 40.
We were friends with a guy. Me and my buddy would call the radio station all the time that they gave us nicknames. They called us the Radio Buttheads.
Radio Buttheads. Radio Idiots. Okay, here you go.
Thank you for calling 612-548-GAME. This is Arcade Radio. Please leave your message after the tone.
Hi everybody, it's your buddy, Bob Zarzadek, control panel expert and technician. Hey, I'm calling you from the red carpet of the Academy Awards. Yeah, remember when I called you from here before? Well, I'm back. Yeah, Will Smith's entire entourage did not show up, so I got in on the standby line. Yeah, I mean, technically, I'm a seat filler, so I had to dress up and, wear shoes. Hey, can you believe they don't allow Crocs? What a ripoff.
Yeah, that's a ripoff.
Yeah, so anyway, I'd like to give you my Oscar predictions for a week in the past. Because it's Sunday and you're like Thursday. All right, so hey, I'm going to bet Steven Spielberg takes it all home this week, okay? Best picture, best actress, best director. He's going to clean up.
Yeah.
Hey, you have my official Bob Zarzadek word on that, so feel free to lay down some money because you're going to be surprised when it comes time to cash in. Okay, so yeah, I don't have much else going on. Let's see. Did I mention that my shipping containers were moved out of the Walmart parking lot? I mean, it's kind of an upgrade, because now they're behind a Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, I've got a deal now with those guys where they take all the uneaten pieces of pizza, and then they turn that back into a whole pizza. And then I get it, and then I eat it, and it's delicious. Okay, now, I guess I'm oversharing, so I guess I'll let you guys go back. Have a great show with whomever or whatever you're talking about, I guess. So see you guys when you get back in 2 weeks. Zarzadek out.
Never lets us down.
Never a dull moment. Hey, should we do an interview just for fun?
Yeah, let's do it.
Rough crowd tonight.
Dang.
Yeah, they're tough, I tell you. Welcome to the show. Billy Seven, you're back. It's
Billy,
our roving reporter. Last week you visited Kansas City. Can you tell us?
Louisville,
Kentucky.
Last week you visited Canada.
I did,
Tell us about Louisville. What was it like?
I'll be quite honest. I was unaware of this show. I've seen discussions and such on the interwebs and the social medias and such. And it all started at the beginning of last week. They apparently came up short with someone to drive the new ice cold beer prototypes down to the show. They asked me if I could do it, and I thought, what the hey? So I figured I'd drive down one day, drop them off the next day, and then rest and come back the following day. Was able to attend the show for a little bit, and if I had known the size of it, I probably would have stayed for the entire show. It ended up having multiple pinball distributor vendors, so they had each one had probably 15 to 20 brand new Sterns. Spooky Pinball showed up with their brand new Scooby-Doo. And for the local folks, in terms of size, if you just had the main space of 2D Con where they had all the games, or Midwest Gaming Classic kind of back in the day at the hotel where they had just the arcade space, that's about what they had there, and it was quite an impressive show. They even had Polybius.
That's been a common game for people to make now because of its legend. And I hate Polybius. I think Polybius can go to hell.
I want to make a version where it's a penis, but okay, keep going.
It was even in an episode of The Simpsons, wasn't it?
I think so, yes.
Right next to Triangle Man by They Might Be Giants.
I don't.
Billy, you were saying?
I was.
Were you doing?
No. Anyway, so and then they. I was chatting with the two people that run the show, and one of the guys apparently was originally involved with it, the whole way from the beginning. Apparently, his partner a few years back apparently burned out, didn't want to do it anymore. So the gentleman that was there and has been there the whole time had a different friend, and they incorporated into an LLC or something, and they bought the show out. And so the new gentleman, it was really cool. I was chatting with them, and they had some really cool, fun, wacky ideas. They had a tournament. I don't remember what the game was, but they were using Virtual Boy. So you were competing against someone in a Virtual Boy, the old Nintendo headset. I told them the only thing more they needed was to get a Power Glove to make your controls work. They also had a game, I forget what they were saying, but they used one of the fishing rod games as a controller, and I should have looked this up and had it ready. But they also did the Switch Mario Kart, where they set up pool noodles in a room, and they had the little RC cars, and you could register and then play it, and you could watch it on TV. Just a lot of neat stuff, a lot of games. If I had to guess, I'd probably say 200 games.
That's good.
And they had some rhythm stuff. Oh, that was actually pretty cool. I always, when I go attend shows, which are pretty much exclusively the Pinball Expo and the Midwest Gaming Classic, just due to and 2DCon, but due to the distance for traveling. So when I go to those, I try to bring something to share that you might not see otherwise. And I forgot my train of thought. I'm not even drunk yet.
Oh,
that's
man.
Weird. So I do have a question to interrupt you with.
See?
Okay, good.
Why all the pool noodles?
Oh, because the Switch Mario Kart, you get little RC. You get an RC car with it, and so you set your track up. I don't have the Switch. I'd seen it prior to this. I got burned pretty bad on the Wii U, and so I kind of now with you guys talking last night with the Switch and other people thought about it. Anyway. So the Mario Kart for the Switch, you have literally an RC car that's this big. Obviously, it's like a low-end RC car. Yeah. And so you set a track up in a room, and I'm assuming you run the car through it once, and the game records that. And so when you're playing Mario Kart and you're watching the screen, you actually have a little camera on the little RC car, and you're driving around the track, and it's superimposed into the...
That's pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah, it's really neat. If you guys haven't seen it, you should check it out. But it's kind of a little more fun experience for other people because you can watch the cars racing, obviously, by standing there physically watching them racing, or they had monitors set up so you can see their perspective. Oh, and that was another thing. They had, when you walked in the door, there was probably 10 to a dozen CRT televisions, and they started out with a big wooden console unit, and then they stacked TVs all over and on it, and they had a distribution amplifier running VHS tapes, and they were playing Star Wars. Oop, hang on a second. Sorry about that. I should have muted that. so they were playing Star Wars, Back to the Future. What else? So yeah, when you walked in the kind of lobby area at the check-in desk, they had some couches and chairs. And then back by the console area, they had a couple of more large wooden console CRTs to play the old consoles on and stuff. So it was basically a small version of what I would refer to the classic, Midwest Gaming Classic. So they did have areas of gaming, vintage gaming, LAN gaming, all that. And then, again, a fairly decent arcade. So I can put some pictures up at some point here, I suppose, and share them or...
Hello. Welcome back to the show. Bringing you back to the pool noodles question.
Why
do you have all the pool noodles?
Yeah. How many are there? I only see 6. Is that enough for a track? It doesn't seem enough.
Well, if you go to my Facebook page, there was photos posted.
Ah.
I got one here. I'll show you.
Of what?
Here.
You started out talking about Mario Kart.
As a youth, what were the circumstances when you first became hooked on arcade games?
I was born. I swear I had a photo of it. I posted it. I know I did.
What are the last 5 games you've acquired since we last talked to you?
There you go.
Oh, here we go.
That's a good one.
We'll see if these show up on the camera.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you actually set up a Mario Kart track, is what you were trying to get at. Okay.
And then when you're driving around, the car has a camera on it.
Sure.
So you're running your controller, and when you're playing the game, you're watching a screen, but everyone around you can see the.
I'm not sure, but I think those cars are on sale right now.
Ooh.
Oh. Is the car driving around during the game, or does it just record the track once?
It's real time. It's real time. So, like when you play Mario Kart, you're watching the screen and you're driving the track. And in this case, it's the exact same thing, except when you're watching the screen, you're seeing the point of view. Kind of imagine like a Daytona or Ridge Racer or whatever, where you can zoom in on and pick the different points of views. So basically, if you imagine picking the point of view that's just above, the looking at the wheel, but you can see the wheel on the front of the car.
Right.
So when you're playing this version of Mario Kart, the camera is showing on your monitor, and you're driving your car in kind of a first-person perspective around the pre-set up track. You don't have to do pool noodles. You can have, it just gives you a physical track so you remember, or you can see what you're driving.
And does it let you see other things that were in the room as it went by and stuff?
Yeah, so well, when you're driving, you see,
out the front.
Yeah, so this is called Mario Kart Live.
Okay.
It's the home circuit. It's still on sale until today. You can get it at bestbuy.com. I'll put it in the chat. But you can get either Luigi or the Mario Kart. And it comes with a car and ties into the Switch, and it can be played with Mario Kart 8. So it's pretty sweet. I'm going to put it in there right now. And it's $40 off. For a mere $89, you get the car and the kit. And then you just have to get the pool noodles from Billy 7. So
from Billy's Garage.
That's right.
Actually,
hang on. Oh boy,
here
we go. Here we
Oh
go.
no.
I love it when your guest leaves the show. That's my favorite part.
Where'd they go? Where'd they go? Oh, right here. They're right behind me.
I thought there were more. That's where.
Yeah, that's why we were talking about them, Billy.
Yeah.
They're right
you saw them before?
Oh yeah. That's what we.
Oh, okay.
That's why
these are actually So in the Xanadu game room here, now that I made a mess that I have to pick up again.
You should have just left them. We could see them fine before, but now they're nowhere to be seen. Yeah.
So in the game room, when you walk in, it's kind of like a split entry home.
Uh-huh.
And there's stairs going up and down. So in the upstairs, you have a half wall. And I'm going to put the noodles all around it and wrap carpet around it so people come put their drinks on it, spill them over onto my artwork and stuff. Oh, wait, that has nothing to do with the gaming show you were asking.
Just a report from Mr. Peabody. He says on Amazon it's only $75 for the kit.
Dang! Oh my God!
Ooh.
I'm tempted.
Oh shit!
I mean, I'm very tempted. Is that a reputable seller, or is that like somebody in, Timbuktu trying to take your money?
China?
I don't know.
Friends of the guys that built our Space Aces?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a clean facility, I have to admit.
What the heck was that thing called again? Mario Kart Live?
Yeah.
Mario Kart Live. Oh, yeah. Mario Kart Live. Home
live!
Circuit.
We'll do it live!
This one says...
Live from KOYRO Studios.
Close enough. But yeah, these are all $82, $93. I don't see $75. But if you want it from Amazon, you can get it for, $93. It lists at $120.
That's incredible. Actually, the last Nintendo I got was a Wii. I never went to the Wii U or the Switch. What about you, Adam?
Well, I have a Switch, and it's my most played console. And I have an Xbox Series X and a PlayStation 4 Pro.
Do you have any other previous Nintendo consoles?
I have the Wii. I skipped the Wii U. Yep. I have actually 3 Wiis right now.
Oh my, Wii!
Jinx. I really like the screen on the Wii U, and I guess by default the Switch. Unfortunately, like with many things, the Amiibos and other things, they make a really cool product, and then there's that, what would you call it, the marquee title that utilizes it, which for me was Zombie U. And then unless it, I don't know what the metrics are, but it just seems like it was a neat idea. So like when you're playing, like I bought a copy of Resident Evil on it, and then when you're playing on Wii U or Switch, and Zombie U and other things, you're hitting that screen or you're using a button and you're getting additional information while you're playing in real time. Whereas like you play it on Xbox or whatever, you want to look something up or change it or whatever, you have to, the screen pulls up and you have to go through your menu and do all that. And in real time with the U, what I enjoyed about it is, you're kind of doing two things, and sometimes you're using one hand to move your guy. And I just thought it was a really neat idea. And then I bought into it early on, and then it had such a short life.
Right. The Wii U was not executed very well, and they ended up having a lot of the Wii accessories come in and be backwards compatible with the Wii. One of the reasons why I think the Wii U didn't do as well too is that it was its own thing. You couldn't, the nice thing about the Wii is you could have GameCube games and you could play them on your Wii, and all that stuff went away with the Wii U. But I think they did it better with the Switch, and the Switch is a much more compact system. It's lighter, it's faster, it's a much better GPU and CPU, and I'm buying games like gangbusters on that thing because there's all these really great deals. Although I will have to say the Nintendo store is a giant steaming pile of horse shit, and if they do anything with the new Switch 2, which is coming out next year, I hope they improve the store, because the store is a piece of garbage.
The Switch 2? What?
Yeah, because they were gonna have. So they had the Switch, then they had the Switch Lite, and then they had Switch OLED, which I bought last April, which has been out for about a year now. and they were going to have a Pro, but they canceled that. Now they were switch to 2, and Switch 2 will be out in 2024. And that is going to be a complete redesign. And so I don't know that you'll be able to use your Switch cartridges, but I think you might be able to use your Switch games if they decide to port that part of it over. And I hope so, because I bought a ton of games in the last year, you know. And for retro gamers and for arcade gamers especially, there are a ton of really inexpensive games. 2 weeks ago, all the Sega Ages games went on sale, and those are ports of Sega arcade games like G-Lock, Shinobi, Outrun, like all the classics, and they're redone in high definition, and they look fantastic. And with this exception of Outrun not having a rumble, it's a quite awesome port of the game. G-Lock does have rumble, and it is, for those of you who know what that is, it was the R360, the Sega R360. And I don't know if you had to sign a waiver to play that in the United States or not, but that thing would actually do somersaults when you were in it.
Oh, you were talking about that the other week.
Yeah. So anyhow,
if you guys didn't look it up, do this after the show. But if you, I don't remember if it's on YouTube or if you just got to Google it and look at videos. But there's a video, I think it's from the one that was up in Canada at the big arcade in the mall.
Yep.
And there's a young kid in it, and he starts the game, and almost immediately he gets hit. And the thing is just going over and over and over. And the kids, and mom's just going
with her phone.
Taping it. It's awesome. You know.
Did he have a good time?
They hit the stop button or nothing, and mom's just giggling away. Did
he get out of it? Did he have fun?
The video cuts off. I'm assuming she probably was like, oh crap, and then went over it.
So apparently they had one in Denver in 1990. Because a friend of mine who's from there played it, and it is the coolest thing. If you haven't seen the Sega R360, look it up. It's an amazing arcade game. It's like I'm repeating myself from last week, but really cool. Just look it up. So, Mr. Peabody, I know because I am a Gen Xer and I don't know how to do that shit. So you need to call me on the phone and we'll figure it out.
And by the way, a reminder to everybody here, on March 27th, 2023, what is that, like in 11 days? That's when the Wii U and the 3DS eShops close. So if there's any other games you want to get on your Wii U or your 3DS, you have 11 days.
And Billy 7, I wanted to tell you before when you brought this up earlier, the Wii U actually has a couple of very cool games, and they're exclusive to the Wii U. So if you are interested in expanding your library, if there's any in that store, I highly recommend just Googling like best Wii U games, because it was an underrated system. I think that it didn't have enough buy-in. Had it been more popular, I think it may have taken off a little bit more.
And I agree that there were issues with the execution, but I guess I'm not mad. I just felt a little burned. But
sure,
I hadn't had a new console since PlayStation 2, and I got that at the end of its life. So.
Sure. And the Wii actually is probably one of the best Nintendo consoles ever made, and it's a testament to their ability to make a game, a console that is playable in a market that is a gaming market. So like you have all these pro gamers that want to play Xbox and PlayStation, and those are like super powerful systems. And here comes the Wii for $200, and they're like, and they go on sale, whatever, $189. So the point is, Nintendo knows their market. It's people that want to play games, that the casual gamer, right? Mm-hmm. And that's me. I'm a casual gamer. I think
me too. That's why I had it.
Here's the opinion. This is a fun conversation piece for the three of us, and the chatters. Do you think classic arcade gamers are by nature casual gamers? Mark?
No.
Okay.
No, I feel like if you're a casual gamer, it's something else that you were brought forward. I feel like the cross of the casual gamer and the classic arcade restoration hobbyist type person, it's rare. It doesn't happen all the time.
It's interesting. I'm talking like, so a restoration hobbyist is different than the person that's playing the game, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good point.
Because my point is, as a gamer, I'm not a very good gamer.
Right.
And I'm better at making the games work. And I enjoy that part of the hobby. But when I play Star Wars, I'm not going to be able to play it for 4 hours in a row.
Right. But I will be able to play Crossfire. Oh shit, what the hell? You know the game that starts with a C. There's a game where you go online, you kill other people. You know those games? I want to do that, actually. Let's all meet up. And...
Let's have a LAN party.
Yes.
We'll get our IMAX out.
Call of Duty, thank you, COD. Yes. Call it. I can't believe it. It's my favorite game, and I'm like, I don't know the fucking name of the game, but yes. Call of Duty.
There is
I hope Billy, your kids are nowhere near here, but
there is another first-person shooter that starts with a C too.
Yeah, that probably throws me off, but yeah, I love Call of Duty. It is my favorite game. Of course, there's further, games before that came, but Call of Duty is consistently awesome, and they always come out with new stuff, and that's why I log into Steam basically.
I'm sorry for your loss.
It's okay. I'm still good.
Yep. So the funny thing is, I enjoy back in the 90s, I was a big FPS guy, but I never made it to Call of Duty, and I hated pecking order. And so I really hate the whole prospect of having someone order me around.
What about Quake?
Quake is fine. It's free for all.
Quake 2?
Quake 2, most definitely. That was my game.
Chaos? Quake 2 Chaos? Ever play it?
I played every mod you could play on Quake 2. Reckoning, LM, CTF, yeah, everything. I played it. Unreal Tournament is probably the pinnacle of first-person free-for-all shooters. And it was great because you could play in as a shrunken little person in a anyway. We're getting off track. Billy 7. Question goes to you. Do you think inherently the classic gamer is by nature a casual gamer?
I guess I'm going to lean into the kind of one-up reply. There are different. What am I trying to think of here? There's different. So I think a classic gamer could be both.
Sure.
And either or. I think it really revolves around a personal interest of someone. I'm very much a fan of arcade gaming, both primarily pinball and the video games being basically designed to be no more than a 3-minute game.
Sure.
And so I do have times when I'm get involved in a console game, particularly like I was saying, Zombie Wii U, the zombie game, Zombie U. That was probably the first game in a long time that I put legitimately over a day and hours cumulatively playing it. So back to your question and the answer, I personally enjoy games that, so like a Jersey Jack pinball machine, that's a game made for people that want to have a lot of depth. And I don't dislike them, but they don't appeal to me as much as other ones. So in arcade gaming, if you think of something like Paradise Lost or Aliens, they're both in that same cabinet. What that comes to mind is you're basically playing, to what, like Mark said, like a Call of Duty game or Time Crisis, where the game walks you through as you kill people and then stops you. So that isn't to me very enjoyable. But if I sat down to a console, I'll play it. So I don't know that, again, trying to answer your question, I don't know that it's either or. I think it's across the spectrum, and it's really what you love and you're passionate about.
Sure.
Proc in Florida there. I don't know that I've ever heard him mention anything about console gaming, and maybe he does, or maybe he's interested in it. But you look at what he's built, the 10-foot Donkey Kong and others, and his personal collection, and he's a Mold-A-Rama fan and owner as well.
I would love to be an owner, just FYI.
But, yeah, so, he's very passionate, puts a lot of effort into that. And then I know people, like you guys were talking, that play a lot of console. Or I don't know that.
So
I don't know
those
you can
are.
be that.
There's a distinction I'm making here because it's not just so like there's a hobby portion of it, a collecting, restoring, and the coin up and all that sort of thing. What I'm just talking about is like the gaming aspect of it. So like for me, my opinion is that from a kid from the 80s who short attention span theater, you go into an arcade, you have a limited number of funds, you play games casually. Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man. You're not competitive gaming. You're not teaming up on a clan to fight another clan. It's not versus anybody. It's just versus yourself. So therefore, it's casual. You're sitting back. You're enjoying the entertainment value of it. And so for me, it's like, okay, I played Super Pac-Man when I was a kid. I played Star Wars as a kid. I didn't play it competitively. I played it for a few minutes to enjoy it. And I didn't have very much money, because my dad and mom, gave us what we could in the arcades, when we were under 10, whatever. And then even when I was a teenager, you'd pick and choose. It was a casual thing. And then you'd go through the mall, eat food, and look for girls. So for me, I think, the casual gamer in me came out of that, that era, the 70s and 80s of playing these short attention span video games. And so it doesn't mean that I don't enjoy other games. I don't care for Call of Duty or Counter-Strike or a lot of the first person shooters that are military based. That's a personal choice of mine. But I do like the more futuristic ones, Battlefield 2042. I like Unreal Tournament and the Quake series, all that sort of thing. There's sort of fantasy first-person shooters with crazy weapons and fun things that happen, and all the mods and add-ons and everything. But that's an investment when you sit down to play those games in a multiplayer situation. That's not casual gaming. You're actively looking for, to spend some time with people online, and that's fine. That's
your
fine.
Point there.
Yeah.
I would say more of us that are on the older end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think to your point, we are, because adventure would be.
That's a deep dive. That's a deep dive, right?
Well, adventure was kind of that first one when we were young, and that still was not. That was not multiple weeks.
No,
and then there was
Zelda. And it's sit back and play and enjoy. You're not competitive against anyone, right? So
yep. Well, but if you did play for a long amount of time, which we did in the summer in the basement, it was because you were repeatedly playing the same game. So like you're playing Yard's Revenge, and you're doing the same thing over.
But maybe that's a distinction that I shouldn't have made, but not necessarily the length of the game. Because, for example, I play Uncharted. It's not against anybody. It's a puzzle platformer, first-person shooter in some cases. But I can sit down and play for 20 minutes, quit. I can sit down and play for a couple hours and enjoy it. But I'm casually going through the game,
Yep. I'm the same way. And real quick, one of the things that I don't own yet, but I would love to.
Yeah.
And it's I'm behind the times, but I saw Tim Kitzrow down at the Louisville Classic or arcade thing. And I've been fortunate enough to visit with him a handful of times. And that reminded me, there's a game, probably mentioned this before. Oh, crap. I had it on the tip of my tongue. Rage. Rage 2, and when it came out 2-3 years ago, there was a cheat code that was called He's on Fire. So when you're playing this game and you're just blowing everything up and everybody, you got him calling stuff out like "He's on fire" and "Bobby Chow" and "Kaboom!" And so if you haven't, look up on YouTube Rage 2 He's on Fire cheat code.
Sure.
And it kind of marries two things that I love. I love NBA Jam, the classic stuff, but also that, as Mark was talking about, kind of like that role playing. Would you call it? What would you call Call of Duty?
A first-person shooter.
First-person shooter, whatever. Yeah, so you're getting kind of a little bit of both. You're getting some of that nostalgia in there, and
the difference between
stuff and a modern game.
Yeah, and I would say the difference between a modern Call of Duty versus classic Quake and Battlefield engagements is there is a pecking order. There's leveling up. So there's an investment in the game, right? You have to be like sort of all in when you go into Call of Duty. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, but it's an investment in time, and you work towards leveling up and also just being able to show off that you're freaking good at headshots.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny is that when I level up, I'm like, does that just mean I played 20 extra games or whatever? And now I'm like, I really don't know. Like, I remember John Jacobson was the first guy to give me shit about leveling up because I was so far below where he was.
Sure.
And I'm like, dude, I'm still gonna kill you. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Who? Yeah. John Jacobson. What is? Oh, is that
John's Arcade?
Complexity?
Yeah. No. John's Arcade. The
John
YouTube...
Jingleheimer, Jickerhammer,
Arcade Outsiders. That guy.
Getting jiggy with.
He's the John's Arcade guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, we're in my basement. That kind of guy.
Yep.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
That's right.
That's why
he hates our show.
He doesn't hate it.
Oh yeah, he does. He hates it because I'm better than him.
He said it was boring.
Yeah.
But that was like after the third episode in the first season before I was there. Or second episode. So.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was so cool too. Your end of season last year when you had Dan on there.
Yeah.
I missed it. Yeah.
We had Dan on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we called Dan just randomly a few weeks ago.
Yeah. And he answered, which was hilarious.
Sometimes I got stuff going on and I have to go back and rewatch them, so I can't always.
We spent a whole season calling Dan and not getting an answer, which was pretty funny. Actually, that's pretty funny shit.
And last week too, if there's new people here and you didn't see it last week, Lemony Vengeance, that's good people there, man. Somebody that speaks to the passion of the hobby more so than the dollars, which is funny. Not wrong.
I love him because he's very honest about what he knows and what he doesn't know, and like he's started talking about Tempest and the creator of Tempest, and he had no idea that Dave Turer was the creator of Tempest. But he was humbled when when I brought it up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but it's fun talking to one generation. I don't know how you put it, before us, about arcade games, because I'm pretty sure, Dave, you, myself, and Mark are all very close in age.
53 here, Dave. I don't know.
50.
Yeah, 50 for me and Dave. So the funny thing is and now for people that are just trying to figure out who's Billy Seven, who's Dave, they're the same person.
Yeah. Dave's his nickname.
My parents named me after Billy Mitchell. I think I've used that before, though.
But what my point is you go to the 40-year-olds and you're talking about Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter and
the 90s games for sure.
Yeah. And like, can you imagine?
Those are their Pac-Man.
Right. And from that respect, it's funny too, because like, the games were so much more advanced by then. 10 years later, the games were a lot more advanced. I mean, Galaga 88 to them was probably like, oh, that's so old,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I mean,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, you go.
I was going to say, well, that's where we started, in my opinion. In the 90s, it became the trade-off. And you got to a point where two things, in my opinion, that kind of watered down the arcade gaming aspect was the extra ball buy-in button on pinball and the continue on video games.
That came in the late 80s, though.
Well, I guess I'm looking in terms of, and not that didn't happen before. Like Tempest, legitimately, you pretty much have to feed quarters in it to level up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not something that that's how it's designed, and to me that's okay. But when, especially for me, with the pinball being my biggest passion, the extra ball it makes the continue play derivative. And anyway, I guess what I was going at is,
which Roger Sharp actually brought up on our show, and I agree that that's a more fun way to play the game, because I don't want more free games as a player. And so I love the add-a-ball aspect.
You should be able to win a game. So and that's the thing.
I don't agree. I totally disagree with that.
Well,
100%.
But to the point of the add-a-ball versus replay.
Yeah.
Yes, I will agree. If you have a pinball machine in your home and you want to play it, an add-a-ball EM, and for those that are listening, in case you don't know, at some point, and my memory is a little fuzzy here, but it was like the early 60s, late 50s, Alvin Gottlieb, the son of David Gottlieb, came up with this idea called add-a-ball.
Well, it was actually for couple reasons. So I don't, not trying to interrupt you, but
well, it's fine. Go ahead.
But the whole point of add-a-ball in some states it was required.
Well, that's what I was going for, is that
but
replays were illegal.
Yeah,
because you won something.
Yeah, but that went way back before the 60s, I think. Right.
Well, the add-a-ball though the add-a-ball in pinball did not come about until the early 60s.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
And that was Alvin's idea, how to get around making games, because there are games that went to Italy and France and other places where they had to put in buttons that would put posts up, or so the pinball market was always trying to find, how can we bring pinball to markets where it's illegal for gambling, whatever.
Yeah.
So an add-a-ball game, when you're playing it, when you reach certain score thresholds, or instead of getting a replay, a credit that is for lighting the red special light, you would get extra balls. So when you start the game, and most add-a-balls extend back to the 5-ball era of pinball. So back, whether you're playing add-a-ball or a replay, you'd put your money in and you'd start the game, you'd be given 5 balls to play, not 3. That wasn't until the 70s. But as you're playing and the ball drains, you go from 5 to 4, from 4 to 3, and as you're playing, if you get an extra ball on the playfield, you go from 3 back up to 4. And then in an add-a-ball, where you'd read on your card with the score thresholds, when you'd reach that score threshold, instead of being rewarded a replay, you were given an extra ball. So as you played an add-a-ball, you could extend your game exponentially if you were a good player and continue to play. In the replay, and why I grew up around and appreciate him as a kid, I loved winning a free game, man. It was awesome.
But free games did nothing for the arcades, because it was a stupidly long time for you to start play, because it wasn't just one ball. You got 3 more balls. Mm-hmm. So winning a game was a terrible idea. And I think Roger Sharp on the show talked about that. Like, that was something they needed to do to be competitive in the 70s and 80s with video arcade games. There's no. It's like these machines would not bring in as many games as the early 80s games would, and so they're like, well, how are we gonna, And he's like, every game should have an add-a-ball. And I totally agree with that. I think if you're running an arcade, that's the way to do it.
On your games, so on old EM games and even digital solid state games, there are settings I do know for sure Williams up until the late 80s had Adaball in their menu. So if you had like a Cyclone or something.
Yeah, well, Buck Rogers, Xenon, all of my games are Adaball.
Right, and that was an option.
Yeah, Pioneer. Pioneer is 1976. I've got that set up for Adaball. And then I have Xenon and Mr. and Mrs. Pack. They're all Adaball.
And for me, on this end of the topic, mine are still all replay if they're a replay machine by definition, because and I think we both share passion for Xenon. I've always measured myself when I play it against how I played it in the first place, and I grew up and again replays meant something to me as a kid.
Yep.
So I kind of like playing the 3-ball game or 5-ball. If all my machines are set up to run on tokens and or how they were offered. So if it's a 50 cents a play game, you got to put 50 cents of tokens in here. So the point is, I much more enjoy hearing that credit pop on Xenon when I'm playing it than I do getting an extra ball.
There are other times you get to hear that pop. The knocker goes off when you get the high score, and if you have an Adaball, there's a higher chance you're going to beat the high score.
So if it's set on Adaball, do you still win a score for high score or
yeah,
replay?
And you still win three games.
I would have thought that would have canceled that out.
You can turn it off, but you can also have it turned on. So if you have Adaball turned on, you can get a higher score by reaching those thresholds, and then you get your three free games. I think it's more rewarding to get the high score and then bam, 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 we get three games. Anyway, we could wax poetic about that all night long, and I know it had something to do with your casual gaming comment. Going back,
I agree. I again, and this is what I always try to maintain. If we go back to the Arcade 1-Up comment, the Exterminator.
We're not talking about Exterminator, Dave. We're talking about casual
but my
gaming.
point is we all kind of break a little bit off, and as we grow up, and as you guys were just mentioning, the next generation below us with the 90s games, I still look at it like I was part of that because I very much enjoyed it and participated in it. But again, that's what makes our hobby go round. Because if the three of us were here and all, how many do you got? All 12 chatters, if we all did the same thing and owned the same games, what fun would that be? You know? And if all the same guys designed them, who would you interview?
Yeah.
So.
And also thank you to the more than 12 chatters we have tonight. So super awesome to have you guys in the chat. I think we are ready to round this up for tonight. Billy, stick with us after the outro.
I will, yeah.
And you guys, always great to have Billy on the show. And Mark, I just want to thank you especially for joining the show tonight.
Wait, it was optional? What the hell? I had no idea.
By the way, we're off next week.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime, buddy. I like your coat. So
thank you.
That's like very Prince. I love it. So we will be off next week because I gotta go visit my mom, my mommy.
I have a wedding.
Oh, nice. And then I think we'll be back on after that.
Yeah, every other that actually works perfectly because in April I'm going to be at Disney, and this will make me skip that, so I don't have to.
It's good.
Do a show.
And one of the things is, we got off to a late start. This is the last season, all that sort of thing. We're gonna have to figure out how many episodes we're gonna. I want to get like 24 episodes in.
Yeah, we'll do it.
I don't know if we'll do it. 22 to 24 is usually the
goal.
We'll
do it.
And if we don't get 24 in, we'll have a break. And we'll come back and we'll do 2 special Christmas episodes.
Oh, what a crap.
Just like Doctor Who.
We'll Doctor Who you.
Yeah. Right? Oh, my gosh. Have you watched any of the new Doctor Who?
No, not at all. Nothing.
I haven't watched since they turned him into a girl. And that's not because...
I haven't watched anything.
It wasn't because she turned into a girl. It's just because Capaldi didn't... He actually didn't keep my interest, and
I know. I got lost at Capaldi, and I'm like, I don't want to watch.
Yeah, and it wasn't him. It was the writing kind of sucked. Anyway, I digress.
He didn't write any of that.
But no.
Where are we now?
Yeah, exactly. Where are we? By the way, before the show, I released a track. I'm going to probably do that next show as well. I'm going to do probably 45 minutes before the show starts. I'm going to spin up a track, and I'm going to play it on the air. And then I'm going to release an entire album of songs to Bandcamp at the request of one of our listeners. So the track I released tonight, you can go back and listen to on the Twitch channel. It's a chiptune track that I made.
Can you post the link?
What's that?
Can you post the link?
It's twitch.com/arcaderadio. You can.
Oh,
and tomorrow morning I'll post.
No, the songs, your album or whatever.
I will when they're posted. I'm gonna do. I gotta select 10 songs, so I want to release one song a week for a while, and then we'll release the rest to Bandcamp or SoundCloud or.
And this can't be the last season.
What's that?
It can't be the last season.
I love it. So if we do have another season, it's gonna be a different thing. But anyway, Chillin' Chips is the name of the song that was on. It's the Pump and Chip tune for my buddy Harrison Mix. And Chillin' Chips is the episode right before this if you're on Twitch. So once this is done, if you want to hear a track that I did, it's kind of fun. It starts off a little bit like this. Very dramatic. Check it out. But tonight we're going to close the song out with... We're going to close the show out with a song that I've done, had on a few times. It's called With Bennies. Friends with Benefits. I don't know. Whatever. It's a good song. And Mark, are we ready to go with this?
We're always ready.
Okay. So thanks for listening in. This has been the Double R's. That's Arcade Radio.
Hey, check out our website, arcaderadio.com. That's RCADE radio.com for all of our social media and swag links.
Yeah, so, I don't know how many times we have to ask people. I mean, over and over again we ask people, right, Mark?
I mean, are they listening? I don't know.
Are they listening?
I'm not sure.
Call and leave comments.
I should leave this phone number.
548 game.
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
feel like we need to leave that in bathrooms at random.
Seriously, dude, actually, you could get on the show.
Seriously,
call.
Exactly.
You know what we should do, Mark? We should figure out how to have the live text come up on the show.
That would be cool.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Enjoying the show? Why don't you consider supporting our Patreon campaign over at patreon.com/arcaderadio. Multiple tiers starting at $3. Any bit helps us with the cost of running the show. It's so expensive. Send your money. Send your money.
Follow our Twitch channel. You don't have to subscribe, but if you do, you can do it out of your Amazon account for free. Otherwise, following is also for free.
Free!
Yeah, and then you just click on whatever notification thingy, and it will notify you when we're on.
If you like what you're hearing, consider dropping a 5-star review on Anchor, iTunes, Spotify, especially iTunes, though, or wherever you consume our podcasts.
All right, that's good. Did you guys hear that? My dog is dreaming.
No, I just heard you scratch your beard, and that was it.
My dog is dreaming.
No. Oh, that's so cute. I love it when they dream.
That's going to be it for tonight's show from Arcade Radio. We hope you had a great time, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Yeah.
Oh. We had a little program, and whoever calls in randomly gets picked to be on for a small spot.
Button.